Okay, obviously my remote is nowhere near me. Hey, we're gonna get through this real quick. You could title this Online Verification Skills. There's a couple questions, we might have some discussion. Why would you hurt your classmate like that? Terrible. Okay.
Did you not hear that?
Oh.
Hey, so, is this a castle house in Ireland? What are you looking at?
What?
Yes or no? Write down your answer. Number one. Yes or no? Do you think this is a castle house in Ireland?
What we're doing.
Did you just take medicine? Are you okay? Did you actually?
Yeah.
Number one.
Oh, you did? Good.
Yeah.
Okay, yes or no?
No.
Write it down. Write it down. Did a squirrel get prosthetic wheels? Yes or no?
Yes.
That is so cute.
I'm not a squirrel.
Can you write your answer on her forehead?
Oh.
Oh, stay away from the front of the camera. Look, it looks kind of like a burrito. How many of you would eat a squirrel meat burrito? Raise your hand.
Ew.
Squirrel meat burrito.
Depends on how hungry I am.
But have you not?
Like you just haven't eaten breakfast.
But actually,
Let's try everything else.
Did world leaders huddle around Russian President Putin? Yes or no?
No, because
Hold on. Yes or no? Did this happen?
he probably slapped him in the face.
Yeah.
Honestly, if that many people were that close to me, I'd also like
I'd be like, get away from me, and I would.
like one of these four dudes doesn't brush their teeth regularly. Like, back up.
Of course.
It's the orange.
Uh-oh.
Do you always believe what you see online?
Yes.
No.
Yes. Why? Is it because you're childish?
No.
Because you're gullible. Because you're gullible. Like 30% of the population, at least.
So I remember when that indictment thing happened.
Hey, let's make sure we're listening.
That indictment thing happened with Donald Trump in I forget.
Like over the January 6th stuff? Or, because I thought he beat those cases.
Well,
And then there was the, what's that woman's name? There was that issue.
Yeah,
What was
yeah,
the most recent indictment attempt?
the,
Documents?
yeah,
He had
and
documents in
that
his
was
bathtub.
in Georgia. Yeah. But this one was in NYC, and there was AI generated pictures of him running from police. And tell me why I believe that.
Hey, so that's a good question. Grade 9. Let's make sure we're listening. I'm going to ask you a critical question. When you see an image online, why do you believe it or not believe it? Because it looks real.
Yeah.
What about some of our biases, some of our preconceived notions, right?
Yes.
So if you, let's say, think Trump is a criminal and see a photo online of him running from the police,
It was so
are you more or less likely to believe that that image is real? Right? Because you think he's a criminal. If you add to that, this lovely little chatty trio at the front who's going to answer my question. If you add to that the fact that maybe he was on trial for something, are you more or less likely to believe that photo is real? More likely, right? And as you pointed out, Trump's a pretty big guy and he's old. I don't know if he can run. So, Cole, oh, I'm not supposed to say names on the camera. My bad. So, hey, let's make sure we're listening. I know it's Monday, we're all chatty, but you'll get some time, like unstructured time very soon here in the lab. So, what was that question? You raised a very valid point, especially nowadays. Like, how many of you have seen like AI images? Right? How many of you kind of know of any of these tools that you can make AI art with, right? So, how do you know now, grade 9s, if an image is real or fake?
You just say no.
The hands. AIs can never do hands. They'd be like,
yeah.
that and that.
Yeah, I've heard that. AI images really struggle with hands, I've heard, but that was a few months ago. They might have gotten better. Another thing I heard was AI images, like you kind of have to pay attention to what's going on in the image, because it might focus well on the subject, but everything in the background might not make sense, right? You might see weird things like just weird twisted arms, I don't know.
And sometimes things can be really distorted in the background because it like doesn't really know what to create.
Mhm. Now, if you didn't know any of that about AI and you just see a photo and you see the subject, what you want to see, and it looks very real, it's going to be a very challenge. How many of you ever been fooled by an internet image? Okay, they call that catfishing. How many of you even bother to check, hey, is this real or fake? Maybe I will after a moment or two. Generally speaking, I think most of us, when you interact with information online, you probably just think, oh, this is real, right? Why? Because, oh, the internet told me. It must be real. Okay? But the whole, like what we've been learning over the last few lessons, again, this lovely chatty little group right up here. Taking this muff.
Hey! My mom made that.
Most of you,
Oh my god.
what we're trying to learn is that you should add steps between seeing something online and believing it's true, right?
Or check the comments.
So this is not a little house castle in Ireland. It's a place in Thailand, and it does not include a castle. So look, they faked it. They just put a little house on top.
Those liars.
Fact check.
Knew it.
Okay. This little Turkish squirrel is living a better life, receiving better health care than many people on the planet. His name is Caramel.
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 I got it.
Oh, caramel, yeah.
Caramel. He's Turkish. Come on. Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Got it.
Vladimir Putin was digitally added to this.
I can
Oh,
see it,
that's
right?
so funny. Okay. Look, they even changed the names, right? So Turkey's real, blah blah blah.
United
United
Kingdom.
States. But then they switched United Kingdom with Russian Federation, right? Why might people do this?
Because they like Russia.
They want to like create drama.
They don't like Russia, propaganda, which is basically creating fake news or trying to spread a particular message. Maybe this fake image serves a purpose for a news article they're writing.
Yeah.
And maybe that news article is more of an opinion piece, right? Talking about Russia and USA or Trump and Putin, and so, oh, I'll make a fake image. It makes it look like they were doing what my article says they were doing.
Wait, I got a question.
Yes,
Is Ukraine still a war? Like, I generally don't
they
know.
are.
Oh.
Hey, did anyone hear about the latest controversy with the Canadian government and this Ukraine issue? Yeah, do you want to explain what it was? No?
I can explain. So
And this image was not fake. This stuff is not fake. Like,
they
it's
were
everywhere.
giving a standing ovation for Zelensky because he made a speech.
Zoe ready?
Zelensky,
Zelensky, the president of
Ukraine.
yeah.
Oh.
So they gave a standing ovation to Zelensky.
Yeah, and then like the speaker or something directed everyone to give a standing ovation for this guy who was an immigrant to Canada. He's from Ukraine, but he was a Nazi.
Yeah. So the House of Commons, our Canadian Parliament, was asked to give a standing ovation to a person who was speaking there, who once served in a Nazi SS unit, I think it was. So SS is some of their top tier horrible people's horrible terrible Nazis. It's like next level Nazis. But yeah, so now Trudeau is being asked to give an apology over this nonsense because, you know, they should have checked this guy's background before he was even allowed to speak in the House of Commons, before he was, you know, allowed to be there, and then definitely before they gave him a standing ovation, right? Like, that is just terrible, right? Like, this guy was a legit Nazi. What did he do?
Killing Jewish people.
Well, he served in
I didn't mean that.
he served in Hitler's army basically,
No, but, like,
and maybe
what did he say in his speech?
I don't know what he said,
I
but it
don't
was
think
more
he-
so the
I don't
response.
think he
SS
delivered a
was like the
speech.
He didn't speak.
No, it was just that they were saying like, please give a standing ovation for this immigrant that came to Canada that fought against Russia in Ukraine.
You know, the irony of that is that Russia was saying that, hey, there are like Nazi style militias in Ukraine that they're fighting against.
And then there. Yeah.
And then, you know, like lo and behold. Anyway, someone had their hand up.
No.
Throw it against the floors.
No. Come on, we're showcasing the baking for the YouTube. Yeah,
Of
yeah.
his mother.
Question in the back.
What?
What? Mark.
Standing ovation. Grade 9's a standing ovation is something I've not yet received, but I have gotten applause at the end of my
Okay.
course. A standing ovation is when everyone rises, they stand, they clap. Right?
Do we
We're
want
like,
to
wow,
do that
we're
for him
like,
right
we're
now?
hungry.
No.
3,
What's that?
2,
I won't do that.
1.
Just you watch. Okay? Just you watch.
You gotta stand up. Give him the standing ovation.
Thank you. Please have a seat. Okay. The term fake news is a popular word. Okay. What does fake news mean to you?
I'm not talking to you. You're fake news.
Okay, it could be fake news could be like something you say to someone when you disagree with them, right? So fake news back there. I'm not gonna get a standing ovation. Fake news. What's fake news to you? News that's fake, right? So how do you determine its fakeness? Is it like who tells the news?
Yes.
Is it legitimately just fake, like artificial fake images? Is it because you look so sad over there, like you look like you're about to start crying? Okay. How do you like? What distinguishes real and fake news for you, grade 9s?
My brain.
Potentially your brain.
CBC, CNN.
Okay, so and why do those? Well, like why do you think? I'm assuming you're saying CBC is fake news.
Yeah,
Okay, why?
because-
Why?